a protester, we are protesting because of the high cost of living. We cannot keep quiet when the cost of even basic commodities is going out of hand. So that story on the first page of the Standard newspaper, but it's continuing on the 8th page, page 8, where Ruto dilemma on mass action as UDA reaps from more defections. So even as this happens, Doreen, we are seeing a lot of defections from the, Azimio faction, joining the Kenya Kwanza government. I'm wondering if can this really stop the protests or the rallies? Will this weaken their resolve to demonstrate?
It's quite interesting because we have been witnessing this movement since even just before the president was sworn in. We have seen some troops, some, maybe the smaller parties that were within Azimio moving, even just the bigger parties. Like we had the 30 members of parliament of Jubilee who went to meet the president, and the talk is now they were moving to this other side. But I'm not so sure if this might stop this protest. Why I say that also is because it looks like maybe it's a structured way in the African continent. Just yesterday and also today, we established that the same will be happening in Tunisia, in Nigeria, and South Africa. And I can tell you for sure, Marie, the issues cut across. It's matters of cost of living in these countries in the African continent. They feel and the need that the government is not really listening to its people. For instance, in South Africa, it's just the issues of electricity. The continuous cost of electricity in that country and the continuous power outages. You can imagine since 2008, this has been the case scenario, just, happening bits and pieces. Sometimes power would even, just be, people wouldn't have power for about 4 to 5 days. And yet this is one of those countries in the African continent that has a very big economy. So you can imagine the ripple effect of this coming down to Kenya. We've talked about electricity so much so, and even talked about the independent power producers and just why they'll be paid in dollars, yet our very own Kenyan will be paid in Kenyan shillings, yet they have to compete, with the foreign market. And this has also equally over time caused a ripple effect in electricity. In fact, I'm also made to understand that right now, even when you buy tokens, they don't break it down for you as how it were before. So there's really quite a lot that I should say the African continent is reeling with, so that then we'll be experiencing this mass protest and rallies. And even as just talked about that, I've also seen the same on the Stand and the Daily Nation, that today, in fact, there's going to be the same in Nakuru, and tomorrow, which is on Friday, in Kiambu. So this is just gearing up towards Monday. But I'm wondering, Marie, the structure of this protest and how businesses will be affected. If you're a business person, even in the CBD, you wouldn't even want to open your business on this Monday.
Exactly. And I think that is why a section of Kenyans are calling for dialogue, because indeed the people who will lose here are the business people. Whether you are somebody who owns a business within a building, or a hawker, whoever you are, you definitely will be affected by this mass protest. And definitely, investors also will be keen to see how this goes, because stability of the country is very important to investors in terms of economic growth and all that. So we wait to see. We hope for the best, though. It is within everybody's rights. It's in the Constitution to protest, and call for, relook of things that people feel that need to be looked into, including what the Azimio are saying is the cost of living, which is very high. They're also wanting the IBC reconstitution. They want all parties involved. So at the end of the day, when there is that hard stance, who actually will be losing in all this? So we wait to see how that goes, but we hope, in as much as it's a constitutional right to protest, the most important thing is to maintain peace. For as long as people are peaceful, then I think more or less things should actually go on well. So let's wait and see how it comes out. And just to conclude, World Food makes 7 billion shillings famine pledge. So that yesterday, Deputy President Rigathi meeting with a representative of the World Food, where they made the pledge to give 7 billion famine-stricken families. That breakdown is in the Standard. You can pick your paper and actually have a look at it, looking at the disbursement of the fund.